we are, and welcome to another episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast. We have with us returning champion, one of the all-time Friday Night Movie All-Stars, Josh. He's here with his many complaints. Josh, welcome back.
Happy to be here, buried in the
avalanche of Shai's office.
It's like
no, you're fine as long as
hoarder.
there's not an earthquake. It's fine. It's fine as long as there's not an earthquake. If there's an earthquake,
Becky, it's an earthquake,
I think, or if you make a sudden move.
like if I
You
break
sneeze?
wind, I'm going to be buried in tchotchkes.
Becky described it as a series of booby traps where if you touch anything, an open can of bubbly water will land on you.
There's like 2 full wrestling rings full of wrestling toys. I mean, that's the level of hoarding.
Shai's desk is daring you to break those electronics. That's what it's doing.
I mean, the fact that I have a keyboard resting on top of a drum machine and it all makes sense to me is pretty funny.
He has USBs. Who has USBs?
That's great.
Like USB.
At least, I mean, did he clean up that like crazy Tiger Bomb paste he had? Because that, if you like get too close to it, your eyes start to burn. Did he leave that off his desk?
I think that's gone. Or
Like,
it's just
literally,
under something and I can't find it.
It's part of the booby traps.
You have to be careful because that is a booby trap.
That's true. Which reminds me of me needing to find Vicks Vapor Rub last week for my children, just finding an open canister of pungent Vicks Vapor Rub. Is it okay to use that?
But that's I feel like I've never found a Vicks Vapor Rub that wasn't already opened in 1987 and just sitting in your closet. Like mom and dad are always trying to give me, they have the vaporizer, right? Like most people have a humidifier. They have a vaporizer that just has Vicks Vapor Rub from the late 90s smeared in the top.
No, but that thing works so well. I know which one you're talking about.
It's more potent, probably.
Well,
yeah, because it was before there were regulations. That's how old that machine is that mom and dad have. It works really well.
I found a box of bootleg tapes, like cassette tapes that I gave Shai 10 years ago to digitize. That's here.
You know, my tape player set up.
Can you show them?
He's busy.
I'll fix
my
it.
8th birthday.
Oh no, anyone who comes in this office reviews those tapes. Actually, they go through and they're like, "Ooh, Bob Marley from the Town Hall," or no, it's Bob Dylan from the Town Hall and Bob Marley from somewhere else. So speaking of medical things like Vapor Rub, one of the things we pride ourselves on this show is that we have always recorded this show no matter what terrible things have happened to us physically. And Becky once again proves her dedication because you have endured quite the series of trials over the last couple of weeks.
But can I tell you what's kind of annoying about my trials? It's that like, okay, a lot of things have happened to me, but it's the epitome of like, well, it could have been worse. Like and it's like, it's not bad enough where I could just be like, this was really bad. So we're like, well, it could have been worse. So first, I get into a bicycle accident.
And I admit,
which is like,
when I saw you after the bicycle accident, I was like, wow, your face looks pretty good considering what I heard it was like.
Was it like
I thought it was going to be all
Biden
mashed.
bicycle accident?
No, I don't know. I went flying off my bike over the handlebars. And I mean, I'm rolling around in the street, screaming at the top of my lungs in pain, like
Becky's
clutching my
husband told
arm.
me he was more concerned about the neighbors all running out of their houses to see what had happened than actually being concerned about Becky.
I mean, flying over the handles I've done that once. It's not fun.
It's not fun while going down a little bit downhill, not like a big downhill, but starting a downhill. And I'm screaming, I'm rolling around in pain. Allie comes, picks me up off the side of the road, takes me to the hospital. We do the whole I arrive.
For the record, by the way,
call the
my
trauma
brother-in-law's
team.
Emergency phone call was to Allie and not to me.
Because he couldn't remember what day of the week it was. And he knows that Allie's home, you know, like she's more likely the one to be home.
Okay.
Also,
I still wonder why she didn't stay with your kids. I wonder why she didn't stay with your kids and he take you to the hospital.
Because we were following instructions.
We're following instructions. It was better that he stayed with them. And they get me to the hospital. The whole trauma team comes out. They stabilize my neck. They have like all Grey's Anatomy style. All the doctors are poking and prodding me. Do a CT scan. They're actually bringing an X-ray machine. They're X-raying me everywhere. This goes on for about 3.5 hours, 4 hours of like all the tests. Doctor comes in. She's like, so you're perfectly fine. Here are some Band-Aids and Tylenol. You can go home now.
How long did you spend? Because sometimes that stuff that happened to me once, and I spent 9 hours.
No, it was about 3.5 hours. I think
because they thought she had a head injury, she went in pretty quickly.
Yeah, they because I fell off my bike and I smacked my. I mean, I didn't have a concussion in the end.
Thank goodness for helmets, right? I mean, right?
Thank goodness for helmets. Shout out to helmets. Wear a helmet.
But all of that, they still wouldn't let you go see Top Gun.
Becky wasn't allowed to see
flashing lights.
Yeah, Becky wasn't allowed to see Top Gun.
I had to wait a few days to go see Top Gun.
I mean, the extra half hour might have done you in.
But it was kind of wild because you're thinking, you leave that and you think, I didn't break my neck. Like, thank God. Like, you're so scared. I didn't break my neck. I don't have a concussion. I didn't even break any bones. Like, my ribs weren't broken. My wrist wasn't broken. All these things, which, by the way, are in horrible pain. I have a wrist brace. I'm in a boot. I'm very bruised up. But in the end of the day, it's literally just Tylenol and Band-Aids, and it could have been way worse. So it's like, I'm grateful that it wasn't worse. Like, obviously, so grateful it wasn't worse.
I keep telling people to
but you're also,
it's a good thing you weren't like oxypain, because there's no coming back from this.
Well, I gotta tell you, that stuff just makes me throw up. So I wouldn't be a good drug addict.
Even when they gave when I had surgery, I was like, I don't want this.
I have bottles of all that stuff at home from other injuries. I don't like it. I wouldn't be. Yeah.
Okay.
I like it more constipated.
So Becky, to be clear, this wasn't the only thing that happened to you.
No, this wasn't the only thing that happened. Sorry. So this happens on a Sunday. The following Saturday, we are scheduled to fly to Tenerife to see Lily. We're spending the summer out here. Now we're 2.5 years into COVID, and my family has not gotten it once. The kids go to daycare, they go to preschool.
Vlad goes to San Francisco to live with van people on the beach.
Yeah, like every other man. But we have not gotten sick this entire pandemic with COVID. The night before we're leaving, it's 11:30 at night. It's Friday night. I go to check on the kids in their room, as I do every night. And I feel Miri, and she has a fever. She's like 103 fever, fully COVIDed up. Like, she has, we did a test in the morning. She has like a dark purple COVID line. It's not like a little line. It's got like a huge,
the one that jumps out right away.
And here we are, the morning of our trip, scrambling, canceling everything. Now, of course, again, it's like we have COVID, everything has to be postponed. But we managed to get through the entire week. We're really careful with our masks. We managed to get through the entire week with nobody else got sick. So again, another one of those situations.
And mom and dad, to be clear, seem like they're trying to get COVID. They're daring COVID to get them again. And mom drove in a car with someone for like 6 hours who had COVID.
She didn't get it. Okay, wait. I need to, huge shout out to them. They are so helpful. They're so brave, not afraid of COVID, not afraid of my children. They helped. They helped us such an immense amount that week. It was survivable because of how much they helped. But full on, I'm not kidding you. I go into mom's apartment one day and I'm like, Mom, I really don't think, Sunny should be spending time here. She might have COVID. Mom looks at me, straight face, no mask on. She goes, Becky, I've been wearing a mask the whole time. I'm not
no mask on when she says this.
No mask.
So
but again, like a situation where really annoying, a little bit scary, but in the end, could have been so much worse. So I don't want to complain about it because
we managed who does want to complain? You know who does want to complain? Josh.
Who? Josh. Josh wants to complain. Yeah. So this is a perfect segue to Josh. Josh has many talents. He's a leader in the marketing and advertising world. He is a great hockey player, excellent knowledge of comic books, but he has really carved out a niche for himself as our podcast's great complainer. And so the list is amazing. I haven't seen it, because it's like too far away for me, but it's an entire iPod screen of the notes.
That was this morning.
Font.
Things that annoy me.
So, Josh, what things are bothering you these days?
Well, as always, I need to ask you guys. So I'm gonna skip the obligatory get political. Like this country's.
Yeah, we are doing this the day. Yeah, sure. We're doing this the day.
And Josh is Canadian, so I feel like
Josh is as American as we are.
More American than Canadian.
Yeah, he's the American the way we are. This is the day after the Supreme Court obviated 50 years of precedent and decided that women's rights, people's bodies, human rights are like on the table for negotiation in this country by repealing Roe v. Wade or overturning Roe v. Wade. So that's the context, I'm sure, of your complaint here.
We don't need to get too deep into my complaints. How it's going to take us like multiple generations to undo the damage that we did by being, well, whatever. I can't get into it. Anyways. So my question is, do you want to hear like life complaints or pop culture complaints?
I mean, pop culture complaints. I mean,
and life. I love Josh's life complaints.
All right, I'll give you my life complaint first because this was the bane of my existence. We had my family visiting last week, and it's.
Please tell me it's about your dog.
No,
that you love so much.
The dog. Can I just tell? Okay, here's a complaint. Danielle literally leans over consistently, showing me TikTok videos of dogs becoming best friends in the hopes that I will get another dog on top of the dog that I have. It's like, how could you not love this cute video of two dogs? I'm like, I don't know. I don't want another dog. It's a cute video.
You're like, I don't like my actual dog.
I have to say, like, I didn't want a dog, but we take care of our dog.
No, I like
you guys
Leo.
are on
Leo's grown up.
But I mean, like, you all are like scraping by with Leo the dog.
Leo's gotten he's good. I'm good with Leo. Leo doesn't need a bet. Danielle is Leo's best friend. We can take TikTok videos of Danielle and Leo playing. All right. My life complaint is we have my whole family visiting. My sister, the two boys, my parents finally made it to Atlanta. It's 100+ degrees and the air conditioner breaks.
No, are you sure it was that, or Lily's husband didn't unplug it to save electricity?
Money.
Oh my god!
It could be that. So, but we pay for house insurance, like homeowners insurance, which would be amazing. Right. I must have spent 5 hours screaming at these people trying to get them to fix the air conditioning. Only to later find out that in the fine print of my agreement, they will pay for the pieces, but not for the actual installation of said pieces. So someone could ship me an air conditioning fan motor and look at it, but not install it.
I will say the greatest thing Ali and I we didn't sign up for this the first couple of years in our house. And then we signed up for this like $250 a year service plan with our HVAC, plumber, whatever guys. I don't know how they make any money off of that deal because they're here.
Mine would break all the time in Virginia. I think I had the AC guy out like 4 times last summer.
It's very high.
He can come and do a diagnostic. He can deliver the parts. He cannot actually fix it unless I pay out of my own
So
pocket.
what did you... Oh, so you had to do that. You didn't have a choice because it's so hot? Like so many people?
I'm going to the ends of the earth.
So your house is
Are you just so hot?
Yeah, we just turn on
the
go
to a hotel?
We go around 95 degrees. No, we fixed the air conditioning. But now I'm going to fight till the ends of the earth because I'm convinced that the insurance companies are the scum of the earth.
Yes, they are.
I mean, it is true that there's always the thing you need is not included.
For the love of God. Installation? Should I install it myself?
You need insurance to do that.
We only deliver the parts. All right, but here's my real complaint. Why does Peacock exist?
I love Peacock.
Oh yeah,
Girls 5 Eva.
What?
Yeah.
Besides Girl 5 Ever, what else is on that?
We Are Lady Parts.
We Are Lady Parts.
Okay.
The overall complaint is that they're just too
American Auto.
American.
Wait, what's the difference between Peacock and Paramount Plus?
Paramount Plus. Why aren't those one thing?
Also disappear.
No, Paramount Plus. No. Paramount Plus is bringing us Avatar Studios. They're bringing us feature films.
But why can't we just make all of these things one thing?
Why is Shy
consolidation
a human TV guide?
You're like,
yeah, it's weird.
What if there was a service where you paid a company and they gave you a remote control and all of the channels were options?
Wait. Can we just talk about Shai just said, "Have you not seen American Auto?" Like, no, I have not seen American.
But American Auto, you would really like.
It.
It's about corporate marketing.
I don't care. I don't want to watch.
Here's the thing.
It's like you watch
service.
Actually, but I think American Auto is
to buy them all. Let Apple and buy them all.
Buy them all. Exactly. Where's the service you can pay a little bit extra and then it's all there?
I'm paying.
They get all of them for you.
Peacock also has all of the WWE pay-per-views, but WWE sucks right now, so it's not really worth it.
You're trying to convince me to get Peacock by telling me about American Auto and WWE.
I mean, WWE.
American Auto is very good.
WWE is a disaster right now.
It's like Superstore. It's like any of the other things. It's fine.
Okay, fair enough.
It's fine.
But I mean, it's also on regular TV.
There's just too many.
I mean,
do I really need all those?
I think Paramount and Peacock. Well, Peacock, I don't know, but Paramount, I think over time is going to prove to be quite good. Because
Paramount should be shut down for their Super Bowl commercial alone.
Oh, you really hate that one with like Patrick Stewart on the mountain,
walking over a mountain. Why would I buy Paramount for that? I refuse to buy Paramount.
Right. And what about Picard? What about Picard?
Picard can go where Peacock.
Oh God, yeah, exactly.
I just hate the name Peacock. Can we just find a better name?
I think Peacock is definitely
like they couldn't call it NBC.
NBC and CBS. We couldn't do that.
We couldn't just call it, NBC
Paramount,
Plus.
CBS.
Paramount is CBS, Viacom, all of those.
It's so confusing.
And
Peacock is NBC.
Peacock is NBC Universal.
So then, can we change CBS to Paramount and NBC to Peacock so that I only have to remember one?
I think that's what they're trying to get you to do.
I mean, at least HBO and Cinemax are now just HBO Max, right? Like,
what? Hey, I have a question. While we're on this tangent, is there a difference between HBO and HBO Max?
Well, no. HBO is the channel if you still have channels, like on a TV.
Yeah, HBO Max is what I have on my iPad.
HBO Max is the streaming service that now HBO and Cinemax have merged.
But are all the things that are on HBO Max on HBO?
And who has
other way around?
Is Showtime Plus a thing?
I have Showtime as part of my Amazon, though. I don't have it as a separate
This
app.
is what I'm saying. There's too much.
I feel like I have it as part of my Apple. I'm very confused.
Well, no, you can add. Showtime is just one you add into whatever you already have. You know, it's like Stars.
So confusing.
Is it like Roku? I can add everything to my Roku.
Other way around, but yeah, you can add Showtime into your Roku.
So I think what we're trying to tell listeners is that this is not a guide of how to watch things and where and what's available, because I am more confused after starting this conversation.
I can
than had we never opened
draining
it up.
your bank account. That's what you need to know.
Yeah, that is actually really
All
true.
right, so Josh doesn't like Peacock.
Nor Paramount Plus.
Okay, fine.
They should all be bought up by either Apple, Netflix, or Amazon. The end.
I like the competition.
It's probably
I don't think it necessarily leads to
they won't survive though. The same thing will happen that always happens. Eventually, one by one they'll get.
I just thought it would happen already.
We'll see.
They need the content. All right, here's complaint number 2. All these shows need to pick a path. I'm good with the weekly. I like that we're bringing back weekly shows. I'm good with the binge show.
Oh, interesting.
I'm really annoyed with Stranger Things, as bad as it is, that we get 5 episodes and then need to wait a month and a half for 2 more episodes.
Like, I see what you're saying.
It's
like, it's
just a scam to get
other.
People to pay for 2 months worth of subscription. That's all it is. It's just a scam to get you to pay for an extra month of subscription because their numbers
they can binge it in 1
tank.
month and then
I know, but the manipulation is so obvious that it like upsets me, right? Like, hey, you're gonna let me binge 5 episodes and then I have to wait 2 months to get the last 2 episodes.
But
just
what
to
I will
get you to hang on as a subscriber.
I agree with your complaint there that if you have 2 halves of a season, having to wait for something that's already made is super annoying. And also 1 month is kind of cheesy, right? That's obviously to make sure you don't
like
get
if
the
it
free
right,
trial.
if it was like right, exactly.
But I will say, if you look at Obi-Wan, which really is better watched as an entire.
I feel like you're the only person marketing this show, Shai.
No,
Obi-Wan is amazing.
Amazing.
And I love that they did it weekly.
But
I actually, for that reason, I stopped
better.
watching so I can watch it all.
If you watch the whole thing, it's much
second
better.
half.
So listening to, I'll give credit to the guys that you brought on, the Yub-Nub guys.
Tim Barnes from last week's episode.
Tim Barnes is awesome.
It'll be 2
They talked about in their podcast how it was basically like a super long Justice League style director's cut of a movie that they just broke up, which I think would be cool then to watch all at once. But I like how they released it because I was just like at the edge of my seat waiting for the next week.
And the character stuff really pays off. And again, the Up and Up guys talked about this a lot, how there were things that people like were complaining about early on with different characters, but they all pay off. Reva pays off, Leia pays off.
But the Stranger Things Josh is a great...
Ice Cube Jr. is awesome. Great. I want to watch. That's a guy I want to watch a show about in space. I don't need Andor. I want Roken. He'll probably be.
But Josh, that Stranger Things is a great point, because had they done 6 months later, everybody would have canceled their subscription and done another free one. But the 1 month apart is just sort of like, it's too much work to cancel, restart. So people are just like, oh, I'll just leave it. It's going to be back.
So you end up paying
all that extra
3 months.
3 months instead of just 1 month. Which
I'm waiting till all
actually pretty smart.
It's available.
But I mean,
I can tell you.
I just
so
hope I'll
far,
forget in the month that I have between the shows that I forget how much I didn't like the season.
Yeah. Well, so I'm going to use Stranger Things as a jumping off point for many complaints.
Oh, okay.
Great.
But one of them is, can I just freaking know how long an episode is?
What do you mean?
Sometimes I sit down and I'm like, I have 35 minutes and I want to watch an episode. Sometimes you're
100% right.
15. Like, come on.
Exactly.
Who
can plan for that?
Aren't two of the Stranger Things episodes like an hour and a half or 2 hours or something?
And there doesn't seem to be any rhyme or reason as to why one would be 45 minutes and one would be like an hour and 25 minutes. Like it doesn't. There's
no, and then you can't plan accordingly. And then I get so frustrated that I'm like, God, I want to be able to like watch a show and go to bed, but now I keep having to watch like a third of a show, and I feel like a failure. I'm like, I can't get through a goddamn show because they're all an hour and a half long.
At the beginning, this episode will be 1.5 hours.
Yes.
I mean, there isn't a thing when you select it that says the number of minutes.
It's not obvious at first.
Yeah. And the reason
you get into it and you don't pay attention. Josh is right.
Stranger Things is going to be an hour and a half because they have 15 storylines in this thing.
Well,
so what I was going to say is
they need to start killing some. They need to take a page from Game of Thrones, and I, very reluctantly admit that, or Last Kingdom, and start killing off some Stranger Things characters. Like the last person to die was Billy or Barb. That's it.
I can't speak to whether or not it's going to be relevant in the last 2 episodes, but so far, you can just fast forward the entire Hopper storyline. You don't need to watch a minute of it. So far, it impacts nothing else.
And is it just the plot of Black Widow or his characters in Russia trying to escape?
Well, what if this was a new way to watch shows where if you're going to do a show with 16 storylines, like you were talking about Attack of the Clones last night, you could literally just pick the Hopper storyline and watch that sequentially. Or you could literally
like a choose your own adventure.
Yes.
Or
which they could definitely do on Netflix.
Which by the way, and it's a very controversial hot take because it's almost impossible to find a copy of this. In fact, I've never found a copy of it. But there was a TV version of The Godfather that was released that apparently Francis Ford Coppola hates, where it takes the interspersed story of The Godfather 2 of Robert De Niro playing Vito Corleone.
The flashback.
It puts that all in one sequential thing at the beginning. Then it is The Godfather Part 1, and then it's all of the modern stuff from The Godfather Part 2 sequentially. So you're not watching things interchanging.
I want this innovation for everything. So if you've ever read like The Fountainhead or Jitterbug Perfume, like I just want to skip 1/3 of all the stories so you can get to the good.
Pick your favorite one.
Just pick your story. Pick your character story arc and let me watch it.
Maybe Peacock can offer that service.
Oh, there you go.
Well, I'll say this, and again controversial, but the 1.5 speed, 1.25 speed for watching shows is fantastic because
I've never done that.
Just don't have the patience for a show, and to be honest, like Severance.
Then why are you watching it? The one you don't have patience for, then like skipping to the end of the book.
Or auto. Severance is a perfect example. It's long.
So I was like, Lily, this show is so good. It gets really good at episode 7. How many episodes are there? 7. It gets really good at episode 7, and I watched the entire thing in fast forward, and it was really great.
Yeah,
I was like, Shy,
part of that show
you're telling me it's a terrible show.
Yeah,
part of the.
I find it that slow. I loved it.
So like,
I loved it. I was very
first 5 episodes. I needed a little zets in the speed to like keep me interested.
Keep you awake.
or the movie Captain Fantastic, which was a beautiful movie, but if I had to watch that thing in real speed, I would have been so depressed.
But that means you have to listen to the music and fast forward.
But that
and their voices.
Well, sometimes that's true. They sing in that movie, and like they do "Sweet Child of Mine," I think at one point, and it sounded a little bit chipmunky. But I bounce back and forth. Sometimes I'll slow it down for certain scenes. Sometimes I'll speed it up a little bit, being like, "Oh, there's a lot of walking here."
Do you ever accidentally slow it down too much, and then you're like,
I haven't done that yet. That would be amazing.
You're like, wow, this show is really slow.
So I'm with Josh, because with Clone Wars, for example, where there's like 1,000 episodes, if you go to some websites, they'll tell you want to watch all the Darth Maul episodes. Here's the 5 Darth Maul episodes. Watch those, and they're one story. You don't have to watch like hours and hours of like
interesting.
Because think about it, you're watching a 22 episode season. You want to watch 3 episodes about an 11-year-old Boba Fett robbing a bank?
Oh God, no. Okay, I see what you're saying. I wish they could do that for the Marvel movies.
No, well, they can sort of. I mean,
you could do it with Avengers, probably.
I will say this: the honest trailers of WandaVision, is just a summary of the show. It's not even like joking.
Have you guys watched Loki, or am I the only one?
How is it good? I like
Loki's pretty deep for that.
Loki's great.
I like it.
He's such a good actor.
I do have a question, because Miri is really into watching all the cartoon superhero stuff on Disney Plus. And she asked me, she came up to me the other day, like, Mommy, I have a question. I need to ask you this question. I go, what is it? She goes, it's Loki is Thor's brother. Why is he bad and Thor is good? And I go, you know what? I don't have an answer.
So Loki is actually, what are the ice elves? What are they called? He's a dark elf.
This is the nature versus nurture question, because they're actually adopted.
Yeah, so
they're both adopted.
Loki's an adopted half brother from a civilization that Odin like committed genocide against, and he's like
in the first movie.
Yeah, he's like a Jotunheim or something like that, and they and so Loki grew up with a penchant for mischief, but also like an anger about always being the like second appreciated brother.
But
so
Thor is
a lesson about favoritism.
Well, Thor is half god. He's a god.
Yeah, his mom's human. But he's
demigod.
like,
one of them got Natalie Portman and the other didn't.
I mean, I wonder who the other one's who's Loki's love interest, because didn't he come out as
doesn't
LGBTQ
he make out with himself in doesn't he date himself in Loki the show or something like that?
I don't want to explain too much.
Okay, I read that recently.
It's very complicated.
That is a great way of saying I don't understand. I don't want to explain too much. It's very complicated.
The multiverse. There's different versions.
They've got
like,
Marvel. Marvel has gone hard on the multiverse.
You know what word I never want to hear again? Multiverse. I never want to hear that word again.
All right. Here's
I don't care.
This is a great
Josh, that's my complaint. Josh, every time there's no way to explain something that's really badly done, they just say it's the multiverse. That's my complaint.
We made one bad mistake, so we're just going to erase that with another mistake.
It's going to call it the multiverse. Oh,
all right. Here's a complaint. What would you do in this situation? Shy texts me, he's like, Morbius is on Plex. I'm like, okay, I don't want to watch Jared Leto being a vampire, but I bought it just so you would watch it.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, but Josh,
the present for Josh,
which was super nice.
If you do all the things just because Shy buys them, you would be eating your way out of a mountain of like Cocoa Krispies.
What are you talking about? Josh just had Cinnamon Toast Crunch for breakfast. It was just sitting there. He's doing exactly that. He's eating his way through stuff that I bought.
Well, I've been doing that since I was 13.
Yeah.
But
what is Morbius?
Jared
what
Leto
is that?
Terrible vampire.
Is that a new movie? What is that? I don't know.
So it's part of the Marvel. It's part of the Venom verse of the Sony side of the Marvel universe.
Stop.
And hold on a second.
Sony can.
It's new.
It's pretty good.
Venom. I liked Venom in general, and I like Tom Hardy as Venom. So Morbius is a living vampire, doctor, superhuman kind of character who's Spider-Man's frenemy. So he's kind of an anti-hero. He's not really a villain.
He's a bit of an anti-hero.
But does Spider-Man show up in any of these or no?
No, because he doesn't really exist in that version of the multiverse, except for a couple throwaway jokes in the recent Venom movie and in Spider-Man No Way Home. The last, like, they sort of allude to that Venom himself knows about Spider-Man, but they're not in the same universe.
How did they get Jared Leto to do that movie?
Are you kidding? Jared Leto? He's been the Joker. He's been...
Yeah, but the Joker, he's going to win, whether right or wrong, Academy Awards for, right? Oh, no, he was bad as the Joker. That wasn't the real Joker.
He wasn't bad.
Joaquin Phoenix.
He was like the extra Joker. But I'm just saying, like, I think he's just available for these... I think he wants to be in a superhero movie that's good, so he's going to keep doing them until he gets his good one.
Good Lord. Well, this wasn't it. But you all should.
Oh, it was bad.
But you did watch it.
Well, I mean, he's like, I bought it for you.
But not good. But it's not good. We agreed it's not good.
Josh, I have a question. What are you doing for Shy? Shy's going around buying you Cinnamon Toast Crunch and Morbius.
Just brought his entire family to visit me. That is as wonderful a gift as someone could get.
There you go.
Cute.
Did I get you something? I don't know. I brought you your signed Timothy Zahn book.
Oh, you did good. We can switch them because I accidentally gave.
I have a question. I have a question that's been on my mind since I feel like we're just kind of airing things out.
Is this the airing of grievances?
No. It's a question. It's truly a question. Would you go see Guns N' Roses?
What do you mean? I've seen Guns N' Roses. Is there like an issue? Did they do something more horrible than what they did previously?
Well, they did the spaghetti incident.
They hold on. My wife forgot we're podcasting and is calling us.
Amazing.
Yes,
Amazing.
We're podcasting. All right. Nope, she remembered. Okay. So would Josh?
No, like recently.
I saw Guns N' Roses.
No, but like, would you see they're on a tour now? Would you see them now?
Like
in 2022?
I was never a big Guns N' Roses guy, but if Samson wanted to go because he kind of likes them, it's like his hockey pump up music sometimes. So maybe
that was worth this story to hear that.
Here's what I'll say, because I saw them in the last 5 years or so. And so the key thing is that you have Axl, Slash, and Duff, three of the legitimate Guns N' Roses members.
Original.
This isn't the Axl with a bunch of random people playing Guns N' Roses songs, or Slash touring with Miles Kennedy singing Guns N' Roses songs. So if you're going to see the actual guys, it is actually quite an excellent show. The thing you have to realize is I'm pretty sure the drummer is not, so it's not even one of the different Guns N' Roses drummers. I think it's, and Dizzy Reed is still there. To be clear, Dizzy Reed, the piano player, he's been there since the 90s. He's the only guy Axl Rose hasn't fired. The thing is that when I saw them, although I heard this is a little bit different now, when I saw them, the set was almost exactly the same as their Use Your Illusion tour set from the 90s.
Well, that's kind of cool.
Which is both cool, but also like I have a DVD and it was almost the same as that DVD. It was clear that they couldn't agree on anything except maybe playing one. I mean, who wants to go see the Chinese Democracy songs anyway? But they just they did that show, and you know what? I got to see Estranged live, November Rain. I think they even played Coma. Like it was very cool. Slash though looks like he is barely hanging on. That guy looks like he's going to fall over at any minute.
Like Keith Richards.
Hilarious.
No, like not even. He's like barely mobile. He sort of walks around every once in a while. He looks like he's going to fall over at any minute. Axl, people make fun of him, but that guy definitely is working hard on stage. But the one who's in the best shape is Duff, because he nearly drank his pancreas into explosion, got a transplant, and is now like vegan, and he's like in incredible shape. So that part of it was pretty, So
I really feel like you've answered this question. Thank you.
And I got a killer poster. They had this amazing Rocky themed Guns N' Roses poster. I saw them in Philly. It was
which
awesome.
will never see the light of day.
No, it's my
because
poster.
It's in the poster box.
It's okay. More complaints. Is there anything left?
Are you kidding? There's we only talked about two of them.
The only last one I have, and I literally cannot remember the movie because it was so slow, was Batman.
Oh, the Batman?
Oh, the Batman?
Pattinson Batman.
The bat and the cat in the hat?
The Pat in the Bat? We love the Pat in the Bat.
They call it the cat.
I'm like, that's a movie that needs to be played in double speed.
Okay, that's a perfect example.
Perfect, great.
Watch it in purple speed.
We support you. We support you watching it in double speed.
And I liked it. I'm like, this is a really good version of Batman. Kind of like the movie, but every scene is like 17. It was like watching Rome again, or Roma. What was that movie? I'm like, Jesus,
Right.
I don't need a
Roma.
7-second
That I could watch in triple
framing
speed.
shot before anything happens for every scene in the
I mean, that movie was
but tell me this.
unnecessarily 3 hours.
But
although
it
I have a
should've been
movie
an hour
shy
and
that
40 minutes.
is okay. There is a
but
movie
you
I have
did-
for Josh that is a legit good 3 hours.
But you did like the fact that he is dressed as Batman almost the whole movie, right?
No, I like the movie was a good movie. It just needed to be sped up, and they need like the establishing shots to be cut down by 75%.
It is not
in
a
every
fast
scene.
movie.
It doesn't need to
Yeah,
be,
it doesn't need to be 3 hours long. But Shai, what movie does need to be 3 hours long?
You know what movie needs to be 3 hours long?
You know what? It needs to be 3 hours long.
It's
I know
on
what movie needs
Netflix
to be
right
3
now, and it's
And
called
anybody could watch it.
RRR. The I Told You show goes to the Mike Roberts. One of
Ultimate
our,
I Told You
Full
show.
I Told You show.
he texted me and
you
he
are a
said,
genius.
he said he is a genius. He's texted me and he said, you need to watch RRR. Don't ask any questions. Just go watch this movie. And he was right. It is.
Can I tell you, 3 hours isn't enough for me because I love the first 45 minutes so much. I restarted it from the beginning, and because I started on my own, I watched 45 minutes. My head was exploding with excitement. I was like, I can't do this alone. The next day I said, okay, Vlad, come sit down. We're going to rewatch this from the beginning. So I spent 3 hours and 45 minutes watching that movie.
The second half is a little maybe too gory for my kids. Otherwise, I was going to make the kids watch it.
It's a bit gory.
It's a beautiful movie.
It's got some.
So
it gets a little
the
dark.
gore is not meaningless. Like the blood in the movie is during very meaningful scenes.
So here's the deal, guys.
There has never
Josh
been
has
a
already, by the way,
bromance.
refused to watch
But
this.
I refuse.
There's
for a
never
reason.
been a bromance like in RRR.
Josh, you're going to want to you're going to want to carry me around on your
catalyst.
shoulders after you see this movie.
Let me tell you, there has never been a catalyst.
Because
a
right
moment
between
that
me and
brought
Josh,
two men
Josh is
together
definitely
in a bromance.
Beam, right?
I
Between me
refuse
and
to
Josh,
watch it,
Josh
and
is
it's
Beam.
Becky's fault.
What? That you won't watch it?
Oh, it's your fault.
Oh, I can't wait to hear this.
Should I? If this was
because I don't have a
radio show, I would
television
cut
in
to
my
commercial
new
and
house.
say, come back to find out why it's Becky's fault. That I won't
Is it
watch
because I don't have a TV at my new house that you're staying in? Because I don't have a TV yet.
No, here's the thing. Eons ago, we made what's it called? Tradesies. Tradesies. We made a tradesies. Okay.
I'm taking a flight on Wednesday. I will start.
Here's the deal. I am
Viking.
But I want to watch RRR with you.
I'm 1.5 seasons, or maybe 2 seasons now, into Parks and Rec. Becky
and
is
it's amazing.
So good.
0.0 seasons into Vikings.
Becky, that is a bed
isn't Parks
that
and
you
Rec
made
so
yourself that you
good,
cracked.
Josh? How happy are you you're watching Parks and Rec? Isn't it so good?
I am enjoying it. I do enjoy the show. It's still
How many
not news
seasons is
radio
Vikings?
for me.
I'll watch the first season of Vikings. I'll watch the first season. How many episodes is it? I'll watch the first season.
I don't know. You get Gabriel Byrne in it.
I got one word for you. 1.5 speed.
It gets
ambient watching.
I'm
I'll
going
do
to say,
ambient
as much as
watching.
we enjoyed watching, or you might have enjoyed watching, what's the main character from Last Kingdom?
Uhtred.
Uhtred,
Alexander Draymond.
You're going to enjoy Ragnar from Vikings as much.
Okay,
So
but there's
you
a
get
Ragnar
enough, you'll
in.
get that.
I'm Team Alexander.
No, but like
Great.
Ragnar's like John. Like Ragnar's not like a. There's more than one Ragnar.
Yeah, the first 3 seasons. You don't need to watch past season 3. I'll give it up after season 3. Yeah, because eventually
Watch the first season. Tell you what, I'll watch the first episode.
Stuff with like Ivar the Boneless, and that's weird.
I'll watch the pilot. I'll give you the pilot.
The boneless.
In return, I'll give you the pilot.
The pilot.
I'll tell you what. When you watch RRR and you love it,
No, you can't.
our agreement is no.
Double or
No. You can't double or nothing. I'll take over RRR from here, but it's great. And like I said, you're going to be carrying me around on your shoulders all the time after that.
Are we going to be doing
RRR is not a tradesies?
No, it's not Bollywood.
Show.
It is Tollywood. It is from Hyderabad. It is in a different language. So it is
just giving you a hard time.
I know it's just a different style.
On principle, I just wanted to blame you, Becky.
It's very funny.
I think that's very fitting. I accept the blame,
Vikings.
and you know what? The only person who's losing in this situation is you, because I'm not watching Vikings and you're not watching RRR, and I see one clear loser.
I'm telling you, you're gonna like Vikings.
Okay.
Okay,
So
I'm getting on an airplane on Wednesday. I will commit to watching.
Now, do you want to tell
the
Josh?
first couple episodes.
Should you try to pitch anything to Josh about this movie, or should we just make?
No, I think you need to go in blind. You need to go in blind.
Right.
But I will say, for myself, it is I think when you talk about a bromance movie, it surpasses any and all bromance that's ever been. Oh, people talk about I love you, man. No, you have no idea.
The example I held up as a shining star of bromance.
No, then you got nothing on RRR.
And what about
and the catalyst?
Uhtred
the moment that brings.
What? What did you say?
It's Uhtred and Finnan. Is it as good of a bromance as Uhtred and Finnan?
I don't think it's. I mean, Uhtred and Finnan is a different level.
It's a different.
But I think it's up
But
there.
I would say
I think
it's that same level. I think it's the
that same level
as Uhtred and Finnan.
Okay.
But I would say what brings them together is extraordinary.
Okay.
Soulmates.
All that being said, let's talk Rex and shoutouts, or shoutouts and Rex. And mine, I have a couple. One is Allie and I watched Under the Banner of Heaven, Andrew Garfield. It's from Jonathan Krakauer's book. I'm sure it's about these murders from that happened in a fundamentalist Mormon community. I thought it was a really interesting show. I thought Andrew Garfield did a beautiful job as the lead, because you really feel his love and compassion for his faith, and then you're also watching these people who are perverting the faith, and it's just really well acted and mysterious. And if you're into cult type stories and shows, this is a good one. The other, let's see, Beck, I'm trying to get into Flag Means Death, and like I love Taika Waititi. I think he's the best living filmmaker right now. I'm 6 episodes in. And so
you've met Blackbeard.
I met Blackbeard, and I'm sort of interested in the plot, but Steed's actual backstory is so pathetic and sad that
it's a real story.
But it's so sad. Like, does it pay off? Does he learn to appreciate his family?
I don't know. I don't think I've even seen 6 episodes. I think I've only seen 5.
Okay. Because his character is, I'm like, I hope Blackbeard kills him. Who leaves their family like that? So those are the things that I've been up to. Lily, what about you? What have you been watching?
It took me about 7 days to watch RRR, which was worth it.
That's true. You don't need to watch it all in one sitting.
No. I watched it like 4 different nights, so it's taken up my whole week. But I am loving Upload season 2 on Amazon Prime. That. It's just like
I never watched
my little joy.
It's so great.
Upload is great. It's really great. It's Canadian.
Sorry, Lily. Josh can't take any of your recs.
No, Lily didn't make the trade. Lily didn't make a trade. You shouldn't violate the tradesies.
It's on Amazon Prime, which I believe is a service Josh approves of, I guess.
It's free with my Prime, so
so he's fine with that. It's great. It's a great little half hour, and it's a 30 minutes I can rely on, basically, because like Josh said, you never know now when you turn the TV on how many bugging hours you have to watch a single episode for. And then the same thing is happening with The Boys. The episodes are just getting longer and longer.
I watched the first episode of The Boys with Allie, and I actually so far like this season more than last season.
Because last season was
I'm enjoying this season. I just feel like a failure every night where I'm like, I have to pause and go to bed because these episodes, I don't know how much time to budget. It's too much work. So I never can finish an episode. I think I'm on episode 3.
Extremely gory. That first episode is extremely gory.
And the second episode is really gory too.
In the last season, didn't they put the thing up the guy's whatever and explode? That was pretty gory.
In the opening episode of this season, a guy shrinks himself.
Don't ruin it. Okay. Don't ruin it. Don't ruin it.
I will watch it eventually. It's so good. I do sort of.
That scene is so wild. It's great. Yeah,
but I like the way they've
again,
changed the rules of the universe. Not the rules, but they've evolved the universe. The story. It's very interesting.
Yeah, it's good. It's definitely, I think, better than last season so far. Upload that. That's pretty much. Oh, and I started. Becky recommended Surviving Summer. Becky's brain has gone mush. So
Becky loves a good Y. So is it a YA young adult?
I love a good Y. I love a good YA.
It's a bunch of kids surfing in Australia and no one's getting murdered.
It's lots of fun.
Is it
and no one gets murdered?
Sounds like Riverdale without the Riverdale.
That show died out.
What show?
Riverdale.
Oh yeah, that show. You just have to stop watching that one. That's one you just have to stop watching after the Goblin King episode. Just stop midway through the 3rd season and you're good. All right, Becky, what about you?
Again, it took me about 4 days to watch RRR, so that's where I'm at. I mean, that's what I
worth it.
Yeah, that's what I watched, and that's what I'm recommending.
Josh, what about you?
I
would say like the Obi-Wan finale, right? We talked about that for like an hour last night.
I watched Obi-Wan, but I really love The Hustle, so we watched that twice in my house.
Oh, I meant to ask you about that.
Sandler?
I love
The
that.
Hustle was awesome.
That's a great movie.
I'm actually watching Barry finally, and that cracks me up, and I love it. I can't get enough of the guy that plays Hank.
Are you in like season 1?
I'm in
season 2 watching the new
right
season?
Now.
So, because I hear season 3 is very depressing, so I haven't watched.
Dark.
Oh well, season 1 was hilarious. Season 2, I can't get enough of
I don't think
plays Hank.
I don't think Barry is going to have a happy ending. I think
but Hank does need a spin-off. Hank needs his own show.
I would watch a show about Hank, like the.
You know what I want to watch? I want to watch one of those fake. I want to watch one of those fake reality shows starring Hank. Like instead of Gajillion Dollar Properties, I want it to be something about Hank, and it's
or his like funny mishaps is trying to be a crime lord,
or just like a Better Call Saul, like they did with Breaking Bad, where you take like a fun character and you move him to his own universe.
Yep.
If he survives Barry, then I'll be okay because I like him the most.
But the show is really good so far, and Bill Hader's amazing in it.
Yeah, he's
I'm excited to watch The Bear. Have you guys watched that?
Oh, yeah, that's on our list of shows to watch.
Yeah,
very excited to watch that.
Like,
maybe we'll start that while you're here.
I love the movie Chef, and it reminds me of the movie Chef.
And the actor, the guy.
I love Jeremy Allen White.
I love Jeremy Allen
White. He was in Shameless. He's an amazing actor.
The movie Chef just puts me at peace, like the one with Jon Favreau.
I don't know if this is the same style though. Is that?
It makes me think more of
the Bradley Cooper movie.
Bradley Cooper and Burn.
It's going to be more gritty, but you're going to love Jeremy Allen White is an amazing actor.
So good. Yeah.
And then I have 2 caveats at the end. One is a complaint, just so you guys know what it's like to sit here. It's like sitting in it's like sitting in Spirit Airlines. I can't move my legs.
That is true.
I feel like I need to pay for extra leg room, but I'm kicking it.
They told you it's booby trapped. If you move, you might knock over that tiger ball and burn your eyes out.
I can't move because the paper shredder's in the way. And two I apologize for anybody listening that works for the insurance companies. I'm just very angry.
Josh,
they don't care if
Josh,
you're about them.
They don't care. Yeah, they're the worst. No matter what.
Josh, do you want people to follow you anywhere?
All you're going to see is me posting about select home warranty insurance. So you can follow me at Josh Crew on Twitter.
Amazing.
Becky, where can people follow you?
At Paper BK Princess on Twitter.
And Lily, where can people follow you?
Chichi, CHICHI Gomez on Twitter.
And you can follow me at Pancake, the number 4 table, Pancake for Table on Twitter and Instagram. All the Friday Night Movie shenanigans at Friday Night Movie. You can follow all the different causes we support on our show notes, but we are going to make sure to elevate a particular one this week. The DC Abortion Fund is an organization that we are supporting that helps people who wouldn't otherwise be able to get access not only to abortion services, but to the travel expenses and the food expenses and all the things that are required around that. And for a very low amount of overhead and a small amount of money can go a very long way to help people in need of this really important service in one of the places where you can still legally do it. With that, the theme music is by What Does It Eat? And thank you everyone for doing this. Thank you to our guest.
Thanks, Josh. Love you guys.
Thanks for having me.